Hi everybody, I'm Marla with 9 Health, and we are here today for our weekly Facebook Live show called Health Happens. We know that health is happening everywhere, all the time for everybody, maybe a little bit differently, and so we want to help you make the most informed decisions and consumer decisions that you need for your health journey. So today we're outside here at Civic Center Park, and you can see we have the beautiful sun, and we're going to be talking about what you need to know about how to be safe in the summer. And you might be surprised at what we talk about, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have Public Health Inspector Tara Olson with us, and we're going to get to her in a second. But first, I want to remind you of what we talked about last week in case you missed it. So we were talking about a really important topic, advanced directives. And while we may not want to think about this every day, all the time when we're out there living our lives, but it's really important. We talked to a elder care attorney and a ER doc, and they shared with us why it's so very important, because if we don't have those discussions now, then when it comes time for those things to happen, you never know when that might be, nobody knows how to act, and you may not be able to live the life and the end of life that you want. So we talked about that, really important. If you missed it, go ahead and check it out. It's on our Facebook page, and very good topic. So today, again, we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to know. We're all outside in the summer, and here we are outside at Civic Center Park. We've got Civic Center Eats going on. We've got, it's election day. If you haven't turned in your ballot, it's time to do that by 7 o'clock tonight. And there's also, looks like a recycle event over here, so it's really active. We're at Civic Center Park, outside in the sun. And by the way, if you're outside like us, you should use sunscreen.
Absolutely. It's hot.
It is hot. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm excited to be here.
So first things first, we're going to talk about summer safety and some stuff that people might be surprised about. Never even thought about it that way. We all go to public pools, and we're out and about doing barbecues, and so you're going to share with us some of the tips to help keep us safe this summer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
But first, before we get to that, I want to ask you something. You know, you're a public health inspector, and normally I think of those people as people who go to restaurants and make sure the food is safe, but there is a whole nother side.
Oh, absolutely. So I actually work for the City and County of Denver, the Denver Department of Public Health and Environment. I've been working here for about 2 years, but
Time
I also,
flies.
it does, and especially here in Denver, it's very fast-paced.
Yeah.
But I have about 12 years experience within public health, and the way that our division is set up, it's two sides. So I work on the Healthy Families, Healthy Homes side, and we do a majority of different things. Not only do we do restaurant inspections, in public health inspections, but we also do child care inspections, noise. We follow up on radon and lead concerns. We do housing complaints. That means like we go into people's homes and make sure it's safe for them. We do swimming pool inspections, and we also inspect body art establishments as well.
Okay, so I didn't know that, and
Yes.
so thank you for doing all that work, because I'm glad that those places are being inspected by someone. I had no idea.
Yes, we are very, very busy, for
bet
sure.
I bet you are. Now, you know, again, we're going to get to the safety issues that we all care about, but I'm just wondering, what are the qualifications? I mean, how do you get trained to be a public health inspector?
Absolutely. So a majority of our team have about a 4-year degree, but we also have, it's usually in like an environmental health or public health related background, but you know, it could be other related fields. And then we have a very extensive in-house training. So we do a lot of in-office, and then we also do a lot of field work, so that when our investigators are out there performing this good work, they're trained and they feel confident in their knowledge.
Right. So you have to be trained on a plethora, a wide variety of things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Very great. So let's dive right in. To pool safety.
You're clever.
See how I did that?
I like that.
Pool safety.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of us, one of the summer activities, take the kids to the pool, go cool off on a hot day like this. What are some of the things we need to be aware of when we go to the public pool? Where are there some safety traps?
So here in Denver, we actually license all pools that are accessible to the public. So what that means is these pools are required to be licensed and then therefore required to be inspected. So they're routinely inspected and they're held to the standards, the pool regulations standards. And what happens is an investigator will go in, they'll do their report, they'll leave the report, and there'll be some things occasionally, you know, that maybe the operator needs to work on, but we're there to provide the education, to provide that background for them.
So when I go to the pool, what am I looking for? Do I make sure I shower first, or what are the things that I can do?
Absolutely. So it's really important. I know, like, especially I have 2 little kids at home, they just want to jump right in. They get excited. But it's really important to actually shower because, you know, we have all types of stuff all over our body. You know, we have lotions, I wear a ton of hairspray, makeup. You want to make sure you get all that stuff off before you jump in the pool, because all that accrues. I mean, think about it. You have 50 people in the pool. Right. None of them shower. That could affect the water chemistry. Okay. And that's what we want to make sure is stays safe.
Okay. And so you want to get clean, shower before you go in. What else? You mentioned kids, so the swim diapers. You know, how sanitary or how does they work? Do they work okay?
I don't know a lot about swim diapers. The important thing is that if you have like some type of communicable disease, so say you're not feeling your best and you're at home, you know,
stay there.
Stay home. You know, because what happens is when you do go swimming, you know, all you could potentially be doing is spreading that, and we don't want that because it is infectious and you can get ill.
But the chlorine is really meant to combat that, or the chemicals they use nowadays.
Absolutely. That's why in the regulations, it requires that water quality to be maintained between parts per million, certain parts per million, depending on the use.
Okay. Okay, and then what about like the floor and walking around? Do I need to wear shower shoes? The flip-flops, I mean, I do, because I think, you know, you just never can be too safe.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not something that we would regulate. Personally, I would as well. You do have a lot of people out there and walking on surfaces that you're not unsure of.
Yeah, you don't know what's on there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wear the shower shoes.
Do you?
Not in the pool, though.
Not in the pool? Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So pool safety, really bottom line. They are all regulated if it's a public pool.
Yes, they are all regulated, and they do receive routine inspections from that staff that I told you about that are highly trained, very efficient. They're out there to educate operators, educate the public on ways to make it safe.
So if you were going to say bottom line to, you know, mom out there who's taking their kids to the pool right now, you know, what things does she need to do to be safe at the pool right now?
Right now, making sure that you're showering before you're getting in the pool, making sure you don't have any type of communicable disease. You know, if you have diarrhea, that's something, you know, maybe you don't, but your children might. Again, you don't take them to the pool with those things because those are communicable. And just, you know, being cautious. I think being cautious in general. Another good idea or something to look for is that, you know, if you do see the pool, it does look a little turbid, you can't see the bottom, you know, reach out to us. Let us know what's going on. Give us an opportunity to come investigate. You know, again, those are licensed pools. They are held to the same regulations as other pools that are around here in Denver, and we got to make sure they're safe.
Okay, so good. You said reach out to public health inspectors, and we'll post that number in the feed so that you have it. So if you see something that looks not right to you, go ahead and give them a call, because it might not be. You know?
Exactly, and then you have to give us the opportunity to come and check it out.
So let's move on to another popular summer activity, and that is going kind of on vacation where you may stay in a hotel. And we've all kind of heard about bed bugs, and so I'm particularly paranoid about it. And so how would I go into a hotel and look to see telltale signs if there's been bed bugs?
It's a great question. I myself do this when I go on vacation. What you can do is when you first walk into the hotel room, a couple great easy places to check is your linens, as well as the crevice of the mattress. So you want to take back those fitted sheets, the non-fitted sheet, and kind of look in that crevice, see what you see. If you see translucent, the kind of oval, those are eggs. That would be a sign of bed bugs. And another one, a more easier one, would be they leave brown spots when they're around. You know, looking on the bed, looking behind the headboard, and maybe, you know, any furniture that may be in the room. Taking a look there. And if you see that, you know, you really should alert the management and then, you know,
and leave. I would leave.
I would alert management and then give them the opportunity to take care of the problem.
Yeah. So you're looking for, you know, you want to pull up the sheet. That's a good tip.
Yep.
And then you want to look by the headboard.
Yep. Sometimes they'll have the headboards that are kind of fixed into place. You can look there. They like to be in little tiny places.
Okay.
Again, like that crevice, that mattress like
Sure.
seam.
Right.
Underneath like the seats of a sofa. You
Sure,
can look
yeah,
there too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so furniture, beds, it could be anywhere. You
Yep.
want to just take a look.
And look to see if, you know, a lot of those really nice hotels, any hotel, majority of them have white sheets. You can see the brown spots on the sheets. They're
Okay.
tiny little brown spots.
Tiny little brown spots. So if you see that, it's probably a sign that there is either bed bugs or there maybe has been bed bugs.
Exactly.
And you might want to leave. Now, when you get home, right, you've got your, you know, maybe your luggage or whatever. What are some precautions you can take when you get home after visiting a hotel?
Yeah, that's awesome. What you could do is you can bag everything up actually in a trash bag. And so you take that whole entire trash bag, you go straight to your laundry room, you put everything in, you wash it on high, you dry it on high. And that
You mean high heat?
High heat.
Okay.
High heat is what
Gotcha.
we're looking for, because that's what actually kills the bed bugs.
Okay, good. So before you even bring it in sometimes.
Yeah, I would just put everything into a trash bag.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So that's how, you know, one of the things that we love to do is go out and explore, which is great, and then that's a great way to be cautious and you don't bring those things home, because if
Yes.
they get in your home, that's hard to mitigate.
Yes, you know, they don't carry disease,
Okay.
but they are a nuisance, and they can. I mean, you can transmit. Like, they are communicable. Basically, they
And they
spread
get,
easily.
what do they do? Get on your skin and make
they
you
bite
itch?
you.
They
bite you, and they leave little red bumps.
and then you itch.
I don't know about the itching.
Okay, you don't know about it, but
Some might itch. Sometimes
red bumps are
it,
bad
it
enough.
depends on the person. Yes, exactly.
I don't want red bumps.
I don't want them either.
Okay, great. So that's one thing. You know, we're gonna move on to, you know, we don't want to leave the pets out, and I know you guys don't necessarily regulate pets, but I brought Koji here. Come on. He doesn't want to go in the sun. Look at him. He's so smart.
He's smart.
He's like, take me on the sun. So, you know, don't leave your dogs outside. It's really hot. And make sure they have enough water. And please don't ever leave them in the car. It really is a bad, it gets so hot in there so quickly, faster than you even could imagine. And so please take care of your pets. And if you have them swimming, make sure you keep an eye on them. So they also could ingest water at an alarming rate. You don't want them to get too much water. And you don't want them to get any of the bacteria that could be in water. And I don't know if you guys don't regulate the like fields and streams and the ponds and the rivers that, you know, that may be out here. So those are unregulated. You don't know what's in them. So take care of your pets too. These guys are our friends, and they love us to death. And so that's Koji, by the way. That's Koji. So lastly, you know, I wanted to mention barbecues. You told me food safety is so important.
Yes.
We're all going to barbecues. We're out there. We're, you know, flipping our food. So what do we need to pay attention to when we're having a barbecue?
I think we're all concerned about, you know, if we go to a barbecue, maybe you're the person barbecuing, you don't want to get your friends and family sick.
No.
I don't
You don't want to be known as that person.
No, you don't, because then you won't have anyone visiting you.
No more friends.
I think it's really important to kind of be cautious about, you know, cooking your food to the correct temperatures, holding it, like say you're out here in the sun, you have a long picnic table filled with food, you know, what do you need to do? I would keep that cold food as cold as possible, maybe putting it on ice. And that hot food, maybe you just hold it in like a warmer on the grill, and making sure you're maintaining that temperature, because once you leave it out, that time starts ticking. And what we look for is like 4 hours. 4 is like the magical number. You can only really stay at a temperature for 4 hours, then it becomes no good.
So if it's cold, you can only stay cold for 4 hours.
If you can keep it below 41 degrees, you're good to go.
41 degrees. Okay.
If you can keep it above 135 hot holding, you're good to go.
Okay, for 4 hours.
Well, it could be longer than that.
Okay.
But if you're just leaving it with no temperature control at all, it's just sitting out there, 4 hours.
Okay, so if
The
something is
magical.
sat out there for 4 hours, I shouldn't eat it.
If you do eat it, you might get very ill.
Okay, that's a good rule.
Yes.
So don't let food sit outside, hot or cold, for longer than 4 hours.
If you're going to maintain the 41 degrees or the 135 or higher, it can stay out for as long as you're maintaining that temperature.
Right. Okay.
Now, if it's just, say you have potato salad, it's not hot, it's not cold, it's just sitting out on a table, 4 hours.
Yeah. What about those deviled eggs? Probably not so good, right?
4 hours. 4 hours.
Okay, so there you have it. We've talked a lot about public safety and health here in the summer. A lot of activities we do all the time. Wouldn't necessarily have thought about there might be some danger here. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Absolutely.
And please, if you have some questions, you can always type them in the feed and we'll get to them. And stay tuned for next week. We are actually going to be talking about some mocktails for your holiday weekend. So thanks for joining us, and tune in next week.